all these things, you will have to depend upon only this platform, that is the online platform that we are engaged in now. So don't consider these things as silly matters. This is a life deciding point of view. So take things seriously. Be with your teachers, with the faculties in diet. Listen to them and follow the instructions, what they are imparting to you, because we are not in a position to come and talk to you physically. So they will be giving those things through your WhatsApp group or the platforms like Meet or Zoom. So we have a tendency that whatever we receive in digital format in WhatsApp, we just read it and delete. So don't consider things like that. These are all important things, because there will be examination for you. You will have to attend the examination, and there will be questions just like those questions were before, and there will not be any reduction or any any lesser part to be asked for the examination. All the portions has to be covered up. So that's what I want to say to you as an introduction to this class. So let's pick things up where we left in our last class before entering to the topic that Madhamaster mentioned here, English as a global language. Yes, it is a very important subject, but you have so many resources to know about it. So many resources are there in the internet to know about the importance of English language and the recent trends in the field of English teaching, English language. So I don't think that I need to spend much time on that topic. Before that, I want to just brush up things that what we did in our last class. I'm giving you some questions now. These questions are not only related to my class. All the classes that we have got in the platform for the last few days, and the classes taken by your faculties in diet. So here are the questions for you. What you have to do is, I will be giving you 10 statements, and read those statements and pick the correct statements. You only need to pick the correct statements, and you have to type the numbers of that correct statements in the chat box here. So your time starts now. You get 2 minutes for that. Read these statements. Think over it. And think of the classes that so far we have got, and examine whether the statements are true or false. You need to pick the true statements only the number you can type. Don't need to type all the complex sentences. You pick the correct statement and type it in the chat box. Type it together. Means if there are 5 statements correct, you just type 1, 2, 3, the numbers only. That's the only thing that you wanted to do. Should I read it out for you? Hello everyone, are you listening? Are you there or somewhere else? Hello, can I have a reply from your part? Okay, right. Then you can type the numbers on the chat box. I can see your name there. I can see your answer there. This is not a test for you. Just I only wanted to brush up the things that we have learned so far. So you can start typing your letter. I can read it out for you. Language acquisition begins at the time of birth itself. Is the statement true? If it is true, you can type 1. If it is not true, you cannot avoid it. Number 2, any language can be taught at any age. Number 3, learning a language supplements the learning of another language. In acquisition, we are all examining these things on the light of the acquisition paradigm. In the light of acquisition paradigm. For learning, here you can substitute the word learning with acquisition here. So number 4, alphabet is the unit of language. Number 5, all languages have some common elements of grammar. Number 6, every child has an innate capacity to learn language. Number 7, we think in our mother tongue. Number 8, E-language, that is external language, and I-language, that is internal language, are the 2 important components of language communication. Number 9, in the early stages of language acquisition, accuracy is more important than fluency. It is more important than fluency. In the early stages of language acquisition, accuracy is more important than fluency. And number 10, we should correct the mistakes of the students when they produce language every now and then. We should correct the mistakes of the students every now and then. So these are the statements for you. I think this is actually a cakewalk for you. You will find it very easy because these are very simple elements of language acquisition, but the very important elements and the basic principles are inbuilt in these sentences. So you can start typing now. You don't need to refer a book or something like that. Don't feel that you are getting 0 marks, because take this as a learning point. Take this step as a learning point. I will be elaborating things after once I got all of your answers. So please come on. Hello? Can I stop sharing? Is the time enough? Somebody please reply. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, right. Are you able to type? Hello? Are you able to type here? Okay, I am getting some answers here. 1, 2, I got 3 answers. Sorry. Hello. Okay, so many answers are here. Can we examine now the statements one by one? Okay, ready? Almost how many answers are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 answers here. One more. Oh, not 7. There are so many. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Now what you have to do now is you have to evaluate your answer sheet or the answers yourself. Let me say the answers. First one, language acquisition begins at the time of birth itself is a wrong sentence, because language acquisition begins when the child is at the womb itself, not at the time of birth. Do you remember what we stated in the last class? The importance of having schools for the pregnant woman, and Anganwadis are making use of this facility, inviting all the pregnant women in the locality to the Anganawadis and giving them classes. So language acquisition begins not at the time of birth, but at the time of the child still in the womb of their mother. You remember the story of Abhimanyu and Sri Krishna that we narrated in our previous class. So number 1 must not be there in your answer. Number 2, any language can be taught at any age. That is a correct statement. That is why we teach English with Malayalam in the first standard itself. Earlier it was in the 4th or 5th standard that we start introducing English in the school for the school students. But now we have started introducing English in the first standard itself, in the light of this principle. Any language can be taught at any age. So number 2 is correct. Number 3, learning a language supplements the learning of another language. That is also true. It should be there in your answer. Number 3 should be there because learning mother tongue supplements the learning of English. Learning English supplements the learning of Malayalam or any other language, because there are so many common elements in language learning in every language. So acquisition paradigm is in favor of this statement that learning a language supplements the learning of another language. So that is also true. 2 and 3 are true. Number 4, alphabet is the unit of language. What is the unit of language? That is an important question. In the acquisition paradigm, not alphabet is the unit of language. In the alphabetic method, when it was we were using this alphabetic method in the previous years, in the beginning of the teaching era, alphabet was the unit of language. Now, alphabet is not the unit of language. What is the unit of language now? The unit of language now is discourse. So, number 4 is wrong. Number 5, all languages have some common elements of grammar in it. So, according to this acquisition paradigm, according to the theory of Chomsky, all languages have some common elements of grammar. We will look into it deeply in the later stages. So that one is correct. Number 5 is correct. Number 6, every child has an innate capacity to learn language. That we discussed in the previous class. Every child has an innate capacity, an inborn capacity to learn a language. That is also a key element of the acquisition paradigm. And number 7, so number 6 is true, number 5 is true, number 4 is false, number 3 is true, number 2 is true, number 1 is false, number 7, we think in our mother tongue. Remember the story of Birbal? They considered that mother tongue is the language for thought, But modern linguists say that there is a particular language for thought, not the mother tongue, but the I language. They give the languages, give the name as I language. So we think in I language, not in our mother tongue. So number 7 is also false. Number 8, E language and I languages are the two important components of language communication. So we said that language is communication. We said that language is thought. On the basis of this principle, there are two elements for language, or there are two elements for language of language communication. That is, first we think, that is I language, then we produce it, that is I language. If internal language is I language, external language is E language. So number 8 is true. Number 9, in the early stages of language acquisition, accuracy is more important than fluency. This is a very, very important statement. In the early stages of language acquisition, or in every, I may make an amend to that, in every stage, fluency is more important than language acquisition, not accuracy. So number 9 is wrong. Fluency is important, not accuracy. That is why we don't consider the errors of the students that they make during the language production in terms of grammar. We don't give much importance to them in the early stages. The language acquisition paradigm says that